Today is Friday, uh, I think it's 27th, March 27th, 2020. Yeah, March 27th, 2020. What a great day to be alive. What a great day to know who you are. What a great day to understand what is actually taking place in the world. And so, what I'll be sharing on my spiritual path of awakening is, change. Where we were and where we're moving to, and being ready. And so, the time of change. This is a time of change. For so long, a lot of us, for so long, we have been so used to um, working for other people, doing things for other people, and being led by other people. And in the age of Pisces, we were programmed to be led by others. We have been programmed to be controlled and to depend on others, and not really being self-led. And so with that programming, you gotten away from really knowing self, knowing self. And when we were in the age of Pisces, everything was do this, go here, this time, have to be here, had to be there, have to do this, have to do this. Work, church, what else? A lot of things that was geared around other things, but not self. Not really self reflecting, not really knowing and taking the time to really know who you are. So that was in the age of Pisces. And so within the age of Pisces, you were programmed to look on the outside for all your resources in the age of Pisces. For some, for those that had not experienced the spiritual awakening, and that was during the age of Pisces. And so now we're entering into the age of Aquarius. Let me step back to the age of Pisces. With the age of a Pisces, we were programmed to depend on everything. All your resources, all your basically you just lost totally. You were programmed to be like a robot. If you were one that worked, you had a schedule, you had to be at the schedule, you had to clock in, clock out, you had to, if it was a time, depending on how many shifts, what shift you work, if you was on a job that worked shifts, if you was on a job that gave you 5 days a week. So you were programmed to follow that type of programming. And so for so long in that age, it became like it was normal for you to do that. So it really became a part of your lifestyle in the age of Pisces. And so within the age of Pisces, even with that age going all the way back to our ancestors' time, to where they were made to do certain things, they were made to accept certain things, they were made to do things and take part in things that they did not know better or forced against their will to take part in. And so during that time, you develop a lot of hatred, you develop a lot of resentment, you develop a lot of I don't want to live, you develop a lot of to the point to where, why is all this happening to me? Why do we experience so much? Why are we why was I born black? Why was I born in the family I was born in. You know, you begin to think about a lot of that stuff in the age of Pisces, because in the age of Pisces, all things that you spiritual growth and knowing who you are was kept from you in the age of Pisces. And so you develop a lot of karma in the age of Pisces. And so within that age, it began to cause you to have all types of emotional things that you had to deal with, depression, anxiety, all those things was during the age of Pisces. And so now that we're entering into this spiritual awakening, which is the age of Aquarius. And so let's go back. It keep telling me to go back to the age of Pisces. So I'm going back to the age of Pisces. When the age of Pisces, we were made to take part in religion, because we are programmed to believe that God, you have to accept God in the age of Pisces. So you were programmed to accept God, period. Because you were programmed to believe you were less than any other human being on this planet. And so that was during the age of Pisces. So a lot of us now are dealing with that, because we've been programmed to believe that everything that they gave you within the book or the Bible is legit, is a part of what you're supposed to be. But in the age of Pisces, that was a part of that energy of that age to make you into psychologically programming you into accept everything in that during the age of Pisces. Because it also was a type of to keep you in the amnesia state of mind. So when you hear others like me, people talk about the spiritual awakening, because you have been programmed in a way to put up a block, so you're made to believe that there is something like of the devil, voodoo, black magic, all these things that you've been made to say that that's what they're talking about. And that was all during the age of Pisces. So now we're entering into the age of Aquarius. In the age of Aquarius is when you begin the spiritual awakening is actually taking place. And we know that the age of Aquarius, the Aquarius is an air sign. So we know, because we're talking about the elements: earth, water, fire, air. So Pisces was water. So now we're in Aquarius, which is air. So we're beginning to enter into the time of change. And the time of change is that what our ancestors, what our great 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 grandfather, great 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 grandmama, great 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 uncle, great 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 aunt, all of that they dealt with, took part in, does not apply to you now, because you haven't, because they dealt with a lot of karma. So what they dealt with is still in our bloodline. So with that being in our bloodline, we're having to deal with that time of change and releasing, because we have to go back way before our ancestors and loved ones was made to be or accept something other than knowing who they are. And I'm going to say that not all of our loved ones, our ancestors, were slaves. No, they were not. But they all took part in some type of psychological programming to where they did not know who they are. Or should I say some of them. I'm not going to say all, because I can go back and say, from hearing the stories of my mom, my mom did share a story with me that I look like my grandma, and that my grandma, she was one that wore all white. And so with me knowing about my grandma wore all white, doesn't mean that she was an Eastern Star, which there's nothing wrong with that if you understand the symbols and the metaphysics of it. The Orishas, the, what do you say, Abulas, what is the other one? The oracles, all of them, majority of them wear white. And I don't have that information yet. I'm just going to channel it to see what my grandma actually wore, because mom said she always wore white on her head, her garments and everything all was white. And I believe for me that my grandma knew, was on the path of spirituality that was not shared with a lot of them. Probably when she tried to share it with them, because they were programmed into religion or Christianity, they probably rejected it, called to all types of things that they were programmed into believing that something was wrong with it. And so now bring it here. So now that we're in this time of change, in this time of spiritual awakening, to where we find ourselves, to where we're in a time out, to where we have, like the quarantine going on, you have the coronavirus going on. So you're in a time of time out. And so within this time out period that we're in, it is time, I feel, that we're being able to go in ourselves, and all that we were programmed into believing. I feel that stuff is being washed out of us. I believe that it's being removed out of our pineal gland. We're being able to connect with our guides, our angels, our angelic being. We were being able to know who we really are. We've been able to connect with our chakras, align them. We're learning. We've been able to return to who we were. We're finding out we're star seeds. We're finding out that we're light workers. We're finding out that where we came from before we incarnated into this planet. We're finding out that we agreed to come here. We are learning. We're remembering all of this, and that we no longer have to play any role playing anymore, because that time of role playing ended in the age of Pisces. And now we're remembering and returning back to our authentic self of our angelic being, because we are energy. We are an angelic being, a divine being in human form, within this human body, which is also another word for it, is avatar. And so I know a lot of us, that because we've been in religion so long and we've had so many people over us, we believe the preacher, we believe the pastor, we believe the evangelist, we believe so many different people, the prophets, the all of those that was that went to school for religion, all of that, we believed them so wholeheartedly that they were God sent. So we believed them so much that no matter what they said out of their mouth, we ate it up. We really believed it. So anything went wrong, we would say, I'm going to the preacher, I'm going to the pastor. And so therefore, all of our energy and stuff, we were giving it to them, to where we never tapped into our energy that's really on the inside of us, of who we are, creator. And so in this age of Aquarius, this is what's happening to us. This is what the returning is. This is what the awakening, spiritual awakening, divine spirituality, we're returning of knowing who we really are. And so with us returning into knowing who we really are, angelic being, we still have this time of where we're questioning, and that's normal. That's normal, because with you've had a whole age, and it's been down. That energy has been passed down so long that we doubt what's happening to you right now. So Because and what's coming to me now to share is that even with the time in Pisces, we called on, and I was there, I called on Jesus a lot. I called on Jesus, and even when church, when that energy came in, we gave the energy that name Jesus, but the energy was not Jesus. There was an energy. Something happened to you in church, but it wasn't because of the name Jesus. It was not. It was because of the energy in you. When people spoke in tongues, we call it spoken in tongues, speak in tongues, but it's called light language. So another word was speaking in tongues, because we didn't have the revelation of understanding what speaking in tongues was. It's actually light language. It's an angelic language that we spoke, that our ancestors spoke to. Spiritual divine beings speak, connecting with the cosmos energy. And that's where we tap in with our higher self, our guides, is relating to us. Yes, we did that. We do that now. But because we've been programmed, they program us into believing it's something else to keep you out on the outside and say, "Ooh, the Holy Ghost came." Yes, the Holy Ghost energy is real. And then we were taught to believe that it only set on certain people. That's not true either, because we are all divine beings. And now, on this spiritual path of awakening, a lot of things are being shed off of us. All that we gave energy to that was negative is no longer receiving our energy. So we gave the energy to, in the church. It's no longer receiving that energy because you're not in the church. Well, I guess you say, well, you don't have to be in the church to call on that name. No, you don't. But the spiritual awakening is that what you call on, and you feel that it is energy, that name is given, is what's healing you, and it's not. It's not the name. It's not the name. It's not the name. And I keep hearing them say, tell them it's not the name that's healing you. You are a creator. You are a divine being. You are an angelic being. You are creator, so you're healing yourself. You are energy. And because we've been programmed that we don't want to accept that. And I see a lot of posts and things on Facebook, and there's a lot people posting about Jesus. And so what's been happening over all these ages is that we've been given this name, energy, and this name has been taking credit for something that it doesn't do. I'm saying there are a lot of people who got the name Jesus. Yes, there were a lot of people back in, and I won't say biblical time, back in doing many thousands of years, had the name Jesus. So I'm saying that we are energy, and you are God in human form. Yeah, let it sink in. The name that you call on is the name that they gave you. You know, I do not share any of this in a way to make you feel some type of resentment. I share what is being given to me in the form of love. Because everything I share, you can go within yourself. You can ask your higher power, whatever you want to call it. You can ask your higher self, your inner being, you are creator, source, where everything came from, because everything has a source. Even dew power has a source, where all the energy comes from the plant thing. So there's a source. So if we're energy, we have a source where we came from. What else? So with you receiving your free will back, we're faced with, what is it? What do I do? Now you have the opportunity to be able to get up and choose what it is that you want to do. You can set the intention for your day, how you want your day to go, rather than someone else setting the intention for you, what they have been having it been going that way for all these years. Now you have the power to set what you want to happen in your life, what you want to manifest in your life. You can do that now because of the change. We're out of the Pisces, we're in the Aquarius. So you have that power to change it. What is it that you want to do? What do you want to accomplish today? What is it that you want to be when this stage that we're in transition into the next stage? Do you have what it is that you want to be, or do you want to go back the way you were before, being controlled? Because it's totally up to you. You can use this time to find out who you really are. Not who you were programmed to be, who you really are. What is it? Who were you? How did you get here? Where did you come from? So you can have time to connect the dots. Another thing I want to share about also is holiness. When we was in 3D, which is Pisces, the age of Pisces, that level of thinking, when we talked about the fish, 5 loaves of bread, fish pulled out of the water and all that goes in the age of Pisces. So, holiness, holy. We were programmed and defined. What is holiness? What is really holiness when you defined it? The word holiness was defined by a man. And the way the word holiness was defined, it had stipulations to it to where all the stipulations that listed there is what is defined as holiness. Holiness is not going to church. Holiness is not dressing a certain way. Holiness is not speaking a certain way. That's not holiness. These words that they've been using in things is a part of psychological programming us to take part in certain organizations. That is not holiness. You are returning to who you are. Holiness is wholeness and returning who you are. All these things they have you participating is a part of organizations. Returning and knowing who you are and knowing that you are a divine being is wholeness. Because I don't dress a certain way, because I don't eat a certain way, or I don't attend a certain place, that's not divine holiness. That's not it. That's a part of the programming. That's taking away your free will. That is that's how people are being controlled. And what's happening now, you being free to choose now. Now, whatever choices and things that you make, according to the universal laws, that's what you draw the energy you draw to you, because the laws are in rule in the charge of this planet, the universal laws. I was chatting down a lot of little notes. I want to talk about the coronavirus and why the coronavirus is still hanging around. The coronavirus is energy. Everything is energy. There's positive energy and negative energy. And a lot of people are giving it energy. How? Well, because it's a spirit of fear. It's the energy of fear. With you fearing it, it gives energy to that virus because it's energy. And so energy draws energy. So with you feeding it, giving it your energy or giving it your attention is energy. So when you give attention to it, it keeps it gives it more energy. It gives it more power. So how are we doing it? We're talking about the coronavirus. We're giving our attention to it. How are we giving our attention to it? Watching the news, watching it on Facebook, posting more about coronavirus, making jokes about coronavirus, rapping about coronavirus. We're giving our attention to it. The more attention we give to it, the more energy it has, and the more it hangs on, and the more it gets stronger and stronger and spread and spread. Watch how the news posts all around the world about the coronavirus. Watch how they post about in New York. We're giving our attention because our attention is energy. And the more attention you gives it to it for more than 17 seconds, it makes it grow. It feeds it. So, that was very powerful. I mean, you can look that up for yourself. You don't have to agree with me on it, but I'm just sharing on my live what I know about energy and how attention is in energy, in the energy of fear and how it works, because that's what they're trying to do. If they can keep your mind, because your thoughts create things and your thoughts create a reality. If they can keep your attention on to coronavirus, it draws the energy and it makes it stay longer. If we pull back from the TV, if we pull back from the Facebook, if we pull back from the YouTube where they're talking negative about it and not talking positive about the things that the change that's taking place within this time, then if we pull back from it, turn off channel 9, channel 3, all the other channels, 1836, 5, all the Chicago news and all, if we turn away from that, I guarantee that energy will die out. But as long as we feeding and giving it our attention, it will hang on. And most of us as melanated people, because we've been programmed the way we've been programmed, there's a negative thing in it and we draw to it. So we got to discipline ourselves and but turn off, push away. We've been programmed to do it like that. We've been programmed to desire negative things. But now you in the age of Aquarius, you can push back. Powerful. What else? I heard someone post on on Facebook, if y'all afraid of coronavirus right now, what about the rapture? See, because you've been blinded and don't understand what's going on, you miss that the rapture is taking place right now. You've been programmed to believe that the rapture is the way they talk about it in the Christian Bible. That's not the rapture. That's a part of programming. You're not being snatched and taken up nowhere. That's a part of the thing that they're going to try to make you believe in, that it's going to take place. What is the blue light experiment that they're going to try to do to make you think that Jesus come back and have taken everybody up out of here and took them up. So that's a part of programming. So what's really taking place is the awakening. The rapture is taking place now, but not the way you think not the way you think it's taking place. The spiritual awakening is the rapture. That's the change. Not the way they got it in the Christian book. The millions missing, not the way they make it put it in the movies. That's not the way. If you see what's happening, how a lot of people are losing their lives, that's the rapture. It's taking place right now. The spiritual awakening. Returning, remembering who you are. That's the rapture. Look it up on this metaphysic term, and you'll see that the rapture pertains to the human body, a part of the organs that's in the body. That's the awakening. And the corona applies to the pineal gland in the head. We have a coronal pineal gland. It's in the head. If we take time to understand the Bible on a metaphysics level, then you will understand what's actually taking place. There is not a rapture where people are going to be taken and out of here, some left behind. That's not true. That's a part of programming they put in the Bible to make you think that way. So what I share is not to make you feel in a certain way, a bad way. No, it's a part of spiritual awakening. We're not in 3D anymore. We're in 5D. This energy that they sent through the planet was 5G. Look it up for yourself and understand what 5G is. Your energy. And if there's some type of energy that comes against your DNA and if you are not aligned with your chakras and stuff, if you're not equipped with the crystals to understand what crystals from the earth protect your body, protect you from certain waves and radiation and stuff, when it attacks your body, then it sends out a flu-like symptom in the body. And so what they did was they said, oh, people got the flu, and so then they gave it a name. They gave that energy a name, coronavirus. And so when it all it took, it was one. And so it took that one to say it. And so that energy just said, phew, it lit fire. And so everybody started saying coronavirus, which is as above, so below. The corona is in your head. It's your pineal gland. But they, with the spirit of fear, which is used, they're using which is actually the coronavirus, energy of fear, which causes you to have fear, causes people to have fear, to give your energy to it, your attention to it. Ooh, 5,000 and die, 2,000 and die. Guess what? Your energy is going right in and feeding that corona. That energy is feeding that virus. Hey, take it or leave it. You don't have to take my word. Do your own research. As a matter of fact, go into yourself. One of the biggest problems that a lot of us have, we don't even talk to ourselves. We was told that if you talk to yourself, you're crazy. One of the things I learned now, if you don't talk to your inner self or your higher self, something's wrong with you. Because if when you sit still, your mind and stuff is still talking. It does. And you don't even have to move your tongue. You don't have to move your lips. Your mind is still talking, which means it's still creating something. It's been programmed. All the stuff that it was programmed to do, it's still talking. It comes back to you. It keeps coming back to you. Things that you need to do, things that you have to do. You didn't even think about going to do it, but it's coming back into your head. That's programming. So, anything else I need to share on that? I think I've been on here a good while. I don't have anywhere to go. I love what I'm doing. And my purpose as the oracle of love and free will to let you know who you are. You are love. And you have free will. And you are source energy in human form, which is this avatar. As above, so below. Trying to see what else. I also wanted to continue to let you know, I talked about the crystals the other day. Well, can I see it? The amethyst crystal right here. The amethyst crystal, where's my large one? The amethyst crystal, I'm switching a little bit when I talk about the amethyst crystal. It brings the energy of the elastical quartz and amethyst together in one stone. See, there's the amethyst and there's the quartz parts right there. Amethyst is used to open the spiritual and psychic center. Used as a meditation, focus, increase positive spiritual feeling, and help overcome fear. So amethyst crystal is a crystal that helps overcome fear. And I know a lot of us need to have this crystal around our neck right now. Craving and addiction. Fear is an addiction. People get nervous about everything. Ooh, I'm nervous. Well, that's fear. Elastical quartz has an extremely high vibration, is a powerful aid to spiritual growth. They aid attunement with the higher vibration and open doorways to higher dimensions. So this crystals open doorways to higher dimensions of returning, knowing who you are. We do, as I stated before, we do have them. I do have them right here. They're $10. You can message me. I will get one to you. And citrine is also another crystal. Does the same thing. I have that. You need these crystals. These crystals are from the earth. The minerals in them fight off the radiation and stuff that's coming from these towers, the cell phone towers, and all these other things they don't put up on the power lines that send out radiation to affect our brain and stuff. That's what these crystals do. I didn't know at the time why it happened so quick. about the crystals, this awakening about the crystals. Then I found out when I had my past life regression that I've always studied about crystals, and that I was one that connected with crystals. And so now, that's what I'm doing for this time now that we're in, for protection. We need protection. We carry a cell phone around in our hand, which sends off radiation, which is not normal. It's not good for our body. Whoever created the cell phone did it intentionally to put a cell phone in our hand so that we could have all kind of things going wrong in our body, in our mind. And so we're attached to the cell phone. We're attached to the iPads. We're attached to the computer. And so we have it so hard. We're not aware that it is releasing all types of radiation from it to mess with our pineal gland, mess with our organs in our body, all of that. But yeah, even though I'm sharing this with you on the phone, on my live, on the phone, on my live too, because my phone is right here. On my live, a lot of you won't pay me any attention. You'll probably just keep having, you probably got 2 or 3 of them around in your pocket. You got them in your pocket and don't even realize that they're messing with your ovaries, your uterus, and your kidneys, all of that, because your energy. And you wonder why a lot of us have heart problems, because we have the cell phones. Look, they knew how to get us. They gave us the Time Warner cable, Spectrum. Look up the word Spectrum. Spectrum, Time Warner cable, all of them. Them little boxes in our house sending out radiation. But they know how to get. Then we sit in front of the TV that program you. What is the TV doing? Programming us. And we sit right in there. You know why? They psychological program us into doing these things. We have to get back into nature. I believe that Mother Earth, the universe, gave us a time out to help us heal in that area, to push away, get out in the yard, plant something in the garden, go for a walk, push us away from all this, push us away from the laptop at the desk. I know some of you working from home, but I still believe that the universe put us in a timeout for us to heal ourselves, self-heal. All right, another one, crystal, is my baby, natural clear quartz cluster. Clear quartz cluster is used to stimulate positive thoughts and feeling, for meditation and channeling, and to amplify energy in thoughts, enable clear thinking. I do have clear quartz. We have it. Clear quartz crystals. Where was it? It is used to enhance all psychic abilities. It is a healer of negativity and will help stimulate positive thoughts and feelings. Sometimes used for the treatment of the circulatory system, for vertigo, to dispel dizziness, to promote emotional stability. Crystal cluster radiates energy into the surrounding room or space, and also are used to absorb negative energy and amplifies, get rid of it. So what we have not known, we knew, but because they program us with all these electronics and things around us to block us from remembering who we are, we are crystals. We are a crystal. We are not only a crystal, but our blood is crystalline. We have 144,000 crystals in our body. There's the masculine crystals. Masculine crystals and the feminine crystals. They're both in our body. We were really on the level of being the strip of our true identity, of our true God state of who we are. And with the spiritual awakening, you're starting to remember, or you're starting to come back to your God state. This is the return of the Nagas. The Nagas are the gods. And I don't say that in a way to offend anyone, but the Nagas, this has always been a dark planet. And the Nagas got away from who they really were. And now the spiritual awakening is taking place. The Nagas, and you can look up that word Naga because it has a remnant to Niger and all that. I don't want to say nigger, Nagas. Pronounce it the correct way. It's the awakening of the gods. And you can look that up. Powerful. I felt a gust of energy on me. You can look that up. I share what I share in love. We've gone through what we've gone through. And the contract that was made, the agreement, it is finished. It is finished. Everything they gave you to believe in, if you choose to believe in, it's because you want to. You don't have to. The deity they gave you, you can go in yourself and ask for truth. Please help me to remember. Ancestors, my higher self, source, my guides, please show me who I really am. So, it's that simple. Because you're energy. You didn't just start living. You've always lived. Energy doesn't die. Energy just changes forms. I recommend meditation. Meditation, breathing. You can look on YouTube and look up different meditations. Some of my friends that I listen to, Campson on Remnant Gathering is one I listen to. What's the other one? Energy. What is it? Inner Stand is one. It's on YouTube. Martin Kinney is another one. Raising your thoughts vibration is one. If they can keep you, the energies can keep you in a negative state, then it draws negative energy. If you raise the energy to love, it raises the vibration and healing takes place. Anybody that's suffering with flu-like symptoms, you don't need to run to no doctor. You don't need to run to no hospital. Get in the house, go sweat. Don't take no medicine to reduce your fever and stuff. You need to sweat. Get back to the way your great-grandma and them used to do this thing. Get in the house, sweat. Drink lots of liquids, sweat, get up under the cover. When you get through sweating and put on some positive vibration music and it raises that energy within you, you'll be healed. You don't need to run to no doctor because once you run to the doctor, all it does, the medication they're giving you, it breaks down your DNA. Breaking down your DNA your DNA is already being attacked by the 5G waves that's going through this planet right now. So when they give you that medication, it continues to break your DNA on down and you out of here. So I share this and I share this in love. You don't have coronavirus. A lot of us don't even have coronavirus. You may have a flu-like symptom, which is from the 5G. And what you do is you get in that house and you get in there and you meditate. And you stay in the room because, flu is contagious for a lot of people. You get in there. You don't need to run to the doctor. And they put that fear in. You say, oh, you got the coronavirus. Somebody else going to get the coronavirus. And that's what's been happening. That's how those entities have been ruling this planet. Because they know their time of being in charge is over. So they're trying to hold on by sending out this energy of fear. And if they can keep you with that energy of fear, they can remain because it keeps the planet in a low vibration state. But not anymore. Because you know why? As Campson always say, your third eye just been kissed. No. Your third eye has been kissed. But I say, the oracle of love and free will, Yanis, just woke you up. So you don't have any reason to have fear. Because you've been given love and free will. Shalom.